There are duets, and then there are 80s duets. Here I'll be looking at the 10 biggest 80s duets on the UK charts. The way the data has been collected over nearly 45 years means some of the entries on the list should possibly be higher than they are. This list is just for fun and not statistical analysis. Also, duets on the list are artists, not part of a regular duo or act consisting of a duo. Number 10, Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream, 1983. This is an interesting start as I couldn't find exact sales figures even from the BPI, so I'm using a different data set here. Country once again crossed into the mainstream as two staples of the genre collide for this 1983 hit. Though this was written by the Brothers Gibb, aka the Bee Gees, showing they could turn their hand to most genres. A number 1 in the States, this reached number 7 on the UK chart. Number 9, Up Where We Belong, Joe Cocker and Jennifer Warnes, 1983. Joe Cocker hadn't seen success for a while until his vocals were brought in to offer a contrast to the smooth delivery of Warnes. Together, they secured a huge hit with this song from the Richard Gere romantic movie An Officer and a Gentleman. Taking the top spot in America, it peaked at number 7 in the UK in '83, and we'll see one of these two again later in this list. Number 8, I Knew You Were Waiting For Me, George Michael and Aretha Franklin, 1987. Aretha's 80s revival continued with this classic combination of brown-eyed and blue-eyed soul. Michael had made the transition from Wham, and this team up with a living legend cemented his place as an 80s icon. This took the top spot on both sides of the Atlantic. Number 7, Ebony and Ivory, Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder, 1982. Ebony and Ivory. 60s musical icons Wonder and McCartney offer some friendship across the racial divide on this 82 single. One of Macca's best-selling singles of the 80s, Stevie would go on to have a huge hit with a Just Called to Say I Love You. Side by side on my piano, keyboard, a big seller worldwide, number 1 on the UK and US charts, as well as 10 other territories. Number 6, Endless Love, Lionel Richie and Diana Ross, 1981. A pairing of Motown greats, the Commodores frontman stretching his wings with a lady who became the de facto leader of the Supremes. I'll be a fool for you. This 1981 single is a go-to karaoke classic for the lovelorn. Number 5, Easy Lover, Phil Collins and Philip Bailey, 1985. Mr. 80s, Collins lent a hand to the Earth, Wind & Fire singer Phil Bailey, he of the very high voice, to have this huge hit single. This was at the peak of Collins' phenomenal 80s run of success, not the only duet he did, but by far the biggest. Peaking at 2 on the USA Billboard chart, it was a UK number 1 in '85. Number 4, I've Had the Time of My Life, Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes, 1987. From the movie smash Dirty Dancing, one half of the Righteous Brothers was paired with a duet veteran for this track.
We take each other's hand, 'cause we seem to understand the urgency.
Warnes' previous success in '82 with Up Where We Belong, and this was even bigger, making her a duet queen of the '80s. An American number 1, this twice hit the top 10 in the UK, peaking at number 6. Number 3, Dancing in the Street, David Bowie and Mick Jagger, 1985. Two legends, one from the 60s, one from the 70s, teamed up in the 80s to cover the Martha Reeves and the Vandellas classic. Live Aid was the reason for the duet. It was a single that came after the success of the Band-Aid single the previous December. Luckily, it was a smash, hitting top 5 in most countries it was released, though it made number 7 in the US, but it was a number 1 in the UK.
Okay, Tokyo, South America, Australia, France.
Number 2, I Know Him So Well, Elaine Paige and Barbara Dixon, 1985. Coming from the musical Chess, penned by Tim Rice, this had 2 UK names from the worlds of music and the stage. If you're thinking that this sounds a bit like an ABBA song, well, the Chess soundtrack was co-written by Benny and Bjorn from ABBA. The third entry for '85, obviously a year for artist collaboration, a big number 1 in the UK but not released in the US.
I know him so well.
And at the top spot, number 1, especially for you, Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan, 1989. Soap stars Kylie and Jason from the hit Aussie TV show Neighbours had this huge song at Christmas of '88. Their show romance lived on, but off screen it didn't. Kylie moved on with the INXS frontman Michael Hutchence not long after this.
I wanna let you know what I was going through.
Kylie's career spanned over 36 years, and Jason's has been a staple of TV, theatre and music for just as long.
You were in my heart, my love never changed.
This is a million seller, and the biggest '80s duet in the UK. So that was the best-selling duets of the '80s in the UK. I hope you enjoyed that trip down memory lane. Thanks for watching.